Hey, what is up guys? It's your boy Speed here, and today we're going to be looking at Naga Siren position 5. We're going to be specifically following Snake King, and I thought this would be a fun video to make because Naga 5 is one of the coolest things that kind of come back into the meta. Naga 5 and Naga position 4, I would say more so Naga position 4, have been a thing in Dota's history. Mainly because this hero can give vision with her Q, she can push in waves, she has control with the net, she has teamfight with Song of the Siren. But there's a couple of things that have been significantly changed about this hero that are now making it one of the best supports in the game. So let's quickly talk about why and then actually go into the gameplay. So the main things that they changed that make this hero a better support than ever, number one is Deluge. This is her facet where it makes her E an active ability. It does three things. It does damage, it does status resistance reduction, so if they get stunned or slowed, it lasts longer, and it slows their max movement speed to 225. So basically heroes get capped immediately at 225 movement speed, so it's a slow. This is a really strong number because I also believe it applies if heroes like at 600 movement speed, like some Bloodseeker, some 500 movement speed hero. It will just cap them at 225, meaning this is one of the best scaling slows in the game in a kind of comical way. On top of that, she now has Reel In, which is when she nets someone with Ensnare, she can pull them towards her. Certain heroes in Dota are defined by their ability to reposition heroes. For instance, Batrider, Magnus, Tiny. This is a mechanic that is limited to a very specific cast of Dota heroes, and Naga is just one of them now. And finally, her ultimate heals. And it gets way better if you get your shard, specifically from the Tormentor. So it heals for 2%, 4%, or 6% of their max HP, which her reference is 42% of their health at max level. And then if you get your shard, it increases by an extra 4% per level, meaning you can give up to 70% of your team's HP back, your whole team's HP back. That's crazy. This is just like the best healing hero in the late game. And so yeah, this is why Naga's a good support. Let's get into it. It's first phase pick ban in the pro scene right now. Let's do it. On top of that, go sign up to the gameleap website, guys. I'm posting new content over there almost every day, and I'll see you there. All right, so in terms of starting items, you're just gonna buy a bunch of stats. Part of the reason Naga is one of the best supports in the game is her base stats. She has 5 armor, used to be better, but 5 armor is still good. 330 movement speed, which is a crazy number. 330. When a hero has 330 movement speed, it basically means you can't run away from them and you can't get off like multiple auto attacks when you're trying to chase them. 330 movement speed is a broken stat. From there, she has 50 damage, which is pretty bad, but a very impressive 136 base attack speed. And so yeah, as a melee hero, she's extremely good at trading, mainly because her base stats are just really good. Plus, Deluge is only 45 mana. It's 45 mana. Like, this hero, I'm telling you, the way it's going to be nerfed is Deluge will get nerfed on mana cost. Like, you can't have a really strong ability be only 45 mana. It's not like this hero even has a bad mana pool. So essentially, off cooldown in the laning stage, guys, just click E. It's a 10-second cooldown, 45 mana. You just click it every single time it's up. Snapfire's here, you click E, 225 movement speed, you beat their ass because you're a melee hero with max, like the highest movement speed in the game, and you rinse for repeat. You trade around the E cooldown, and you can secure the range creep if needed, as we see here. It's so easy to play Naga. You trade the 4 because your hero's base stats are broken, you secure the range creep if you need, you easily zone the majority of the cast off the small camp, you just kind of do everything. Like, you can easily figure out if you play this hero once, why it's top tier if you understand the strengths. You're always going to have a pull camp because you can't run away from Naga. Like, the 4 hero tries to block it, you're going to chase them down. Like, you're going to chase them down. Like, look at this trade. Yes, it's with the Treant. Like, this lane is completely OP. Naga Furion is like one of the most broken lanes in the game because the Treant combined with slows, like one of my favorite lanes with Furion is Phantom Assassin. Usually I'm support Furion, but like it's the same thing early on, right? It's just a Treant plus disables is so broken. At level 2, you can do 2 different things. You can skill your Q, your illusions. If the enemy lane can't deal with illusions, you can skill them and just kind of like zone them out. But against something like Snap Centaur, they're terrible. So just skill your net. It's only 70 mana. And yeah, you can just kind of use it to obviously get kills. For instance, here we're going to see a kill come out in a moment. They're just poking them down. Once again, really, really broken lane. Clicks E on the snap here. And eventually, I mean, he was just fighting for the Lotus, but there was a kill here the entire time with the help of the Treant. And yeah, they find it. Easy peasy. Blood Grenade. Done. Then you want to buy a Clarity. You might think you don't need it, but you will. You're going to button mash your E. If you click a W, you will run out of mana. So pop Clarities when you're going to pull. This is very common for lane dominating supports, which is like, or any support for that matter, which is you're going to zone them out, and then when you eventually go pull, you're going to pop a Clarity. From there, I love his next items, which I don't really think this hero needs early boots. You will want movement speed, mainly so you can like contest runes and like get vision and makes your illusions really fast. But early on, I think it's better to just buy mana regen so you can stay out on the map and just continue to spam your E. We see it here, he has raindrops, and then he has boots, wand, windlace queued up. So you will want the movement speed, but I don't recommend rushing it like some supports like Crystal Maiden. She really wants those early boots because she's so slow. Naga, I mean, more movement speed is always good, but you don't need it. Now, before we move on past the laning stage, I thought this play up coming here was really cool. If heroes are cutting your waves or playing close to your tower, you can drag them under it. He could have done this for a while, funny enough. So, like, if anyone's trying to cut wave, apparently Naga's just, like, the best hero in the game, and he could have done it way better. Like, you can tell, and throughout this game, I could tell that Snake King hasn't played, like, a ton of games on this hero. I know it's kind of insulting, but, like, there are some things that he could just maximize, and I would say the biggest one that he doesn't maximize throughout the game is reel in. For instance, here, he does do it, and I was like, wow, that's cool, but, like, you want to do it when they're really, really under the tower, and best case scenario, you throw the net from max cast range. Because if you throw the net from max cast range, what you're going to be able to do is pull them further, because you can only reel them in to you. You can't like rail them in past you. So optimally here, he's under the tower, and then he's throwing the net. You can even see he moves back before he clicks reel in, which is good. But yeah, you want to do it max cast range, and you can just pull people under the tower. You can pull people under the tower if they're just like here. I mean, you could even do it at level 1. Dead serious. Now, a big thing to keep in mind that's going to be a synergy throughout the entire game is the E reduces status resist, as I mentioned earlier, and then it makes your net last longer. And so the best thing you can do to put people out of position is use an illusion to apply the E, and then be netting from max range, right? Because if you do that, you're going to get the max pull. And he doesn't really do that throughout the game, at least not that I saw. And so, yeah, you can truly just, oh, he actually did do it here. You can kind of see it come into play, but it's not with an illusion. The best thing you can do is summon an illusion, click your E, net max range, and then pull. You're going to see he does the E, and that increases the duration of the ensnare. So it's going to last, even though it's supposed to last for 2.75, it's going to last 30% longer. So probably like 3.7, something like that, or probably like 3.5. I don't know the number, but it's going to last longer, and that allows him to just pull this guy so far, which is so broken. Repositioning is such a broken mechanic in general, right? In general, it tends to be nerfed on a lot of heroes that have it over time, like Tiny's, for instance. Now from there, you can imagine this hero is a pretty good roaming hero. You're going to rush mana boots because eventually you will have a lot of mana problems. Like you have 3 active abilities and they're all pretty low cooldown. In terms of neutral item though, you do want to get Seeds of Serenity if you can. You just want to have an HP pool, be a little tanky. I thought this upcoming play here is pretty funny. It's really hard for people to know if they should be afraid of your illusions because you could just be one of the illusions. Like this quad probably assumes that these illusions are just like illusions or these things are illusions, but one of them was actually the real hero. He should have clicked illusion. The only thing I will say is he should have clicked the E before clicking the W because once again, it's very important. But whatever. He eventually clicks E here and it actually extends the duration of Fissure and the duration of Lasso, which is just kind of stupid. And from there, you can do a billion different things on this hero. That's what's so fun. You can block camps, like if you know this Snapfire is stacking, you can easily block both of these camps with illusions. You can farm, you can straight up jungle on this hero. It's not too efficient because you have Deluge, but it's fine. You're really good at pushing waves. I think we'll see that in a moment here, which I love. You know, I'm always a proponent of supports that can push waves because if your team isn't ready to make plays or there's just a bit of downtime, you can farm, you can get your team items. So upcoming here, I thought this is a good example of just like mid-game gameplay that you can do. If your team isn't ready to make moves, you can kind of just terrorize heroes, right? Because the E is a 7-second cooldown at max level, and it does 260 damage, and you can just kind of button mash it on subs, and it totally zones them out. And in this fight, this was cool. Like, there was an Atos on the Quap, and with a song, he heals up the bat, so the bat's gonna start healing. It's quite a lot. Even though it's only 2% of your max health at level 1, it's kind of a lot. And so he ends up hitting a song, the Quap ulties, but it just wasn't enough damage because of the healing. He He ends up dying here, but whatever, you know, it's fine. He saves his Batrider, wastes a ton of the enemy's time, and gets the Sonic Wave out from the Qua. Upcoming here is just like, I mean, it goes to show why you can kind of break the game on Naga support with a well-timed song. On top of that, he has a 17-minute Solar Crest, which is a great timing, considering his wand circlet, he's buying all the sentries, you know. Like, this is a sacrificial support in a lot of ways, but he just has a Solar Crest. And so in this team fight here, it's just beautiful. Team Spirit, like, I think Naga is such a good hero against Team Spirit because they love to pick Chain Stun. Any team comp that has a lot of Chain Stun is kind of broken up by Naga because half a Chain Stun isn't that valuable. You know, usually Chain Stun comps lack damage on certain heroes early on. Like, Centaur is not the highest damage hero. He literally has 1 point in double edge. Dragonite early game isn't super high DPS. He can be. And so as we'll see here, he's just kind of farming the side camps, hanging around his Viper. And this is what you want to do in the mid game. Well, there's two things you can do. You can sit behind your frontliners. You can sit behind heroes that want to split push and just kind of give vision with illusions, scout the area, which is another reason why I think Naga, as a hero conceptually in the pro scene, if she has some bit of utility, it's just broken. Vision is broken in Dota, like, as people get good. Because when people actually use vision, it's the best mechanic in the game. In your average pub, people aren't even looking at their maps. They kind of don't give a shit. Like, it's not going to do anything, but at the highest level, it's such high impact to see everything because everyone's watching their map constantly. Someone could show for a half a second, it's going to be pinged by the whole team. You know, so we see here the Chain Stun. They try to make it happen. It's a Snapfire Chain Stun classic, right? And Marlene's not even on the same page. He's trying to save the Viper. He doesn't need to save the Viper. One quick song, Chain Stun's over, Viper gets healed up, not by a ton because it's still level 1, but by enough, you know, and now he sends off the illusion. By the way, you can net people during song. So this hero is a complete and utter counter to heroes like Ember Spirit and Void Spirit, because in team fights, you can just song, they can't dodge it. How are you going to dodge it? And then you click net on them. It's just how it goes. You just counter mobility heroes too, so that's great. And then, yeah, should click his E immediately. Kind of slow because you want to make sure that you're amping things like, funny enough, a Viper Strike will get amped. Poison Touch will get amped. Like, you just kind of amp everything by clicking E. And then he's going to, of course, Solar Crest Viper, which he's a little slow on. Honestly, this team fight is not, to be blunt, it's not the best execution. So you can literally be the best player in the world and be like dog shit. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. But he could have clicked E immediately. He could have Solar Crested Viper faster to give him attack speed on the Q. And he could have clicked the reel in because frankly, what you want to do is net the furthest up player and then pull them further into your team. It's super high impact. And so he's a little slow about these things. In fact, he didn't even do the reel in, which is a bit of a shame because it is mega, mega high impact. Like, let me tell you, this ability cooks, reel in. And yeah, I mean, team fight's easier from there. The main thing you just need to do is kind of save the first go. Like, whoever the enemy team tries to go on it, you want to save them, counter it, and then net to counterplay. And it's just so OP. So the only downside is the ulti is 180-second cooldown, which kind of sucks. So, and I will say at some point in the game, like, this is where support players are going to struggle. As the game progresses, you can just become a farming hero. Like, you can just be another core. Like, he has a hero here. He's sending illusion to top wave. He's sending an illusion to this back camp. He sends an illusion mid. Like, you can tell this guy used to be a core player. Because yeah, you can just farm everything, even as sup, as long as you get 2 E's off, which he just got off there. Oh, he got it off mid too. So 2 E's will kill the majority of lane creeps, not flag bearers because it's magic damage. So you want to have the illusion hit, or the illusions hit the flag bearer if you're trying to kill the full wave. And yeah, that's the only thing I'll say. I don't want to really discuss hotkeys. Basically, you should just set a next unit hotkey and get good at tabbing through it if you want to learn that. And yeah, in terms of items, he buys a blink. He got a shard from Tormentor, which is really insane. It gives max mana regen now and then amps the healing by 4%. The blink, the reason is you're going to blink song. He's going to cancel the Snapfire ulti. He's going to cancel the chain stun and the chain damage. And it also just helps you get around the map to summon illusions and split push. You know, it's really hard for people to kill you when you can kind of blink away from smokes and blink away from movements. And yeah, that's going to be all. Other items, just buy utility items. Drums, Glimmer, Force Staff. You can buy Pipe, you know, you can buy Crimson. You can buy any of these items. Like, whatever's good, you can just buy it. Like, this game, I would probably buy Pipe and a Crimson later on. Just makes a lot of sense if your offlaner isn't, but his is, so you can just buy Drum Solar. And yeah, that's going to be all. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and I'm out.
And that's all, but remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the Game Leap website. where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace.